Previously on AMC's The Walking Dead.
Oh, sorry, I'm just gonna stop you there. It's Code Bullet, actually, not The Walking Dead. That's fine. I mean, honest mistake. It happens to the best of us. I mean, I did employ you to say literally 6 words and you fucked it. But no, that's all right. That's fine. I forgive you. We got a show to do. Let's just try it again.
Previously on AMC's The Walking Dead.
Oh, fuck you. After 3 months of radio silence, Evan remembers his YouTube channel as a thing and decides to reuse ideas from his previous content. The plan was simple. A snake AI unlike any seen before. He will be the god of Snake World, and he will be beautiful. He will be perfect. However, things did not quite go as planned. Oh no. Oh no. Adrian, buddy, what are you doing? Adrian. Okay, here we go again. Get comfortable, people. We're gonna be here for a while. Will Evan give up on this project like his Enigma Machine video, or will he prevail? Find out now on Code Bullet. Oh, hey, hi, how's it going? Been a while. Yeah, that's my bad. How have you been? Oh, that's great. How are the kids? Yeah, fantastic. Wow, really interesting stuff. Okay, great. Now that we've caught up, let's get back into it. So picking up where we left off in our journey to create a perfect snake AI. This was the best AI I could manage using Q-Learning, which is, Adrian, you're a fucking disappointment to me and my entire family. But apart from that, he did fantastically. You guys gave me heaps of ways I could improve it, which is awesome. But the problem is, I don't really want to do any of them. So let's pretend there's nothing I could do to make it work with Q-Learning, and let's put Adrian out of his misery. Am I doing good, father? Oh, you're doing just great, buddy. Keep up the good work. Do it.
Get him, boys.
Okay, back to the drawing board.
We got it.
The whole Q-Learning thing didn't go super
He's got a
well. What
gun.
we're going to want to do is get rid of all Q-Learning.
Stop. I think
and
we
then
got him.
fancy
I think
shit
we
and
got
just
him.
break this problem down to its bare basics.
Oh no, he's back. Bring in the backup. Bring in the fucking artillery.
He killed Daddy. Oh my god, my legs. Are you guys fucking done? Thank you. Where was I? Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to get rid of any Q-Learning or evolution bullshit and just break this problem down to its bare basics. So we're given a snake, and what we want to do is get some food while avoiding the walls and our own tail. If you break it down like this, we can essentially treat the game of Snake as a series of mazes to solve. We've got the start point, we've got the end point, and we've got the walls. This is, of course, a massive oversimplification because the walls are moving and the way we get the food defines what our next maze will be like, but fuck that, one step at a time. The great thing about mazes is that computers are great at them, and computer scientists have been working on ways to solve mazes for ages. I mean, GPSs work, and that's essentially one fuck-off massive maze-solving problem. Although you're probably not going to see any Code Bullet brand of GPSs anytime soon because I feel like my style of doing things isn't exactly a great fit. Hey, so you're going to want to turn left in about 5 minutes, and you fucking missed it, you dickhead! Get the fuck out of my car! Thank you for driving with Code Bullet GPS. We hope you had a nice trip. Oh yeah, okay, so we got some mazes that need some solving, but how are we gonna do that? Well, let me introduce you to the world of pathfinding algorithms. Woo! Get keen! So essentially we have a maze starting from here and finishing here. For most humans, this should be a fairly easy maze to solve. Just go around here, but for computers, it's a bit of a problem. The most simple solution is to generate every possible path and pick the first path which reaches the apple. This isn't the best strategy, but don't take my word for it. Let's math this shit. So there are 4 possible moves at each point in time. That's up, down, left, and right, and the path will take 34 moves to get to the food. We need to calculate how many different paths can be generated which have 34 moves, which is 4 to the power of 34 different paths which can take that number of moves. And if we times that by can't be fucked doing this and divide everything by a lack of a mathematics degree, we get, at least 4, probably. I don't really know why I decided to do the math. That was a poor decision. I really have no idea how many there are, but by the time we check them all, we would probably be getting close to the heat death of the universe, so that's not super useful. So thanks to my compelling and mathematically sound argument, I'm sure you're convinced that this algorithm needs a little speeding up. What I'm planning on using is called A-star, and it's generally considered the heavyweight champ for these kind of searching algorithms. What it does is it prioritizes checking paths which get the snake closer to the apple over paths which take it further away. It does some fancy other shit, but that's the gist of it. So instead of just like searching randomly and checking every single path, it looks in the direction that the food is in. All right, enough chatter. Let's go gadget A-star algorithm. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. All right, how about now? Well, it drew the background, so that counts as progress. I'm counting that as a win. Okay, oh yeah, there we go. So this is finding the shortest path from the head of the snake to the food. This solution is just riddled with issues. However, let's just sit back and pretend it's gonna work. You good, bro? You still with us? Hello? Okay, he's just stopped. He didn't die. He just kind of gave up. Yeah, okay, so there are two main problems with this. The first one is pretty obvious. Every time he gets some food, he needs to calculate the best path between the head and the next piece of food. While A-star is a pretty good algorithm, it's far from perfect and still needs to check about 1 metric fuck ton of paths. So that's not ideal, and I can make it a little more efficient. However, I feel that's gonna be an unfixable problem. The next problem is a bit more subtle. So let's quickly go over A-star again. It sees a situation like this and calculates the best route from the head of the snake to the apple. This is fine, however, since this path assumes that the body is not moving, it moves in a way to avoid the tail, which is no longer there. And this is also why he just kind of gave up, because there's no direct path from the head of the snake to the apple, and it doesn't think the walls are gonna move. So it sees this as an impossible situation. This isn't too hard to fix, however, don't get too excited because there's still one whopper of a problem, which I'm yet to tell you. Finding the shortest path isn't really what we wanted to do anyway. If you watch the people with no lives who are really good at snake, it's not like they go straight for the apple. Instead, they kind of do the opposite, potentially taking the longest path to the apple. Oh shit! That's a great idea. All right, so what I'm thinking is, what if we start out using A-star to find the quickest route, then once the snake gets a little bigger, we use the opposite of A-star to find the longest path. Here we go! Ah, fuck, yep. Okay, that makes sense. Does it do that every time? Yep, yes it does. Okay, cool. Cool. That's fine. I'm fine. Okay, let's try something else. Yeah, okay, so that wasn't the best result, you would say, but I think there is promise with this strategy. Before it completely fucked itself, it was looking pretty good. So here is the plan. We want the AI to take the longest route without trapping the snake within its tail. So to do that, I added a rule to the reverse A-star algorithm. So here's the rule. At all times, the head of the snake must be able to reach at least 80% of all empty blocks. So in this case, the head can only reach these blocks, which is less than 80%, so it's considered trapped and this path is thrown out. This prevents the AI from circling the food and will always leave it a way out. Okay, now we're making progress. As is standard on this channel, whenever I program something which looks like it's working, it probably got a massive downside. In this case, the problem with discarding any paths which get the snake trapped is that sometimes this will discard all possible paths and the snake will get pissed off and take an angry nap, which is, well, a problem. But fear not, because in this case, the snake will enter survival mode, or to use the more scientific name, the oh fuck shit fuck no, I'm gonna die, I was so young! Mode, that's, yeah. That's what it's called. This mode doesn't give a shit to where the apple is, all it's doing is trying to survive, and I'm sure you guys can figure out when it reaches this mode. Alright, let's put it all together and do a complete run through.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
No. He was so close. Oh. It's okay, Evan. I'm sure you're really close to getting it. A few more changes and you'll have done it. Yeah, you're right. You're right, we are really close. But fuck that, let's start again. Wait, really? Yep, third time's a charm. Oh my god, we're never gonna finish this fucking game. Not with that attitude. All right, let's get all this shit out of here. So yeah, I started again from scratch. Why? Well, because I've got a very short attention span and the way I was doing wasn't working. So just kind of forget everything I've explained up until now because we're starting fresh. This is the last time I'll start again, I promise. And I always keep my promises. What about Enigma Machine Part 2? And I usually keep my promises. What about putting out videos every Saturday? And I sometimes keep my promises. What about, let's move on, shall we? Okay? Let's move on. Fuck. So what's this new and improved algorithm we're going to be implementing? I would like to claim this one as my brainchild, however, that would be a lie, and I always tell the truth. What about Enigma Machine?
Do you want to fucking die tonight?
I'm sorry, sir. All right, fantastic. I'm glad we could come to an understanding. Where were we? This part was heavily inspired by John Daspel's work. He's got a website where he does a bunch of projects, one of which is a Snake AI. He actually did it by hacking into Nokia and playing that way in a video titled Snake on Phone. This guy's like a genius, however, his video naming skills could use some work. That's like some reverse clickbait shit. Okay, so backhanded compliments aside, let's see how this works. So this algorithm works using something known as a Hamiltonian cycle. A Hamiltonian cycle is a gross-ass math term, which I remember from a uni course, which I didn't pay enough attention to. So I feel like I'm perfectly qualified to explain this. In order to understand this, once again, we're gonna think of Snake as a grid of blocks. In our case, a Hamiltonian cycle is simply a path which goes through every single block once and finishes where we start to form a cycle. Okay, so a super simple algorithm to solve Snake is to generate a Hamiltonian cycle and then just simply follow it and you win. But if you look closely, you might notice that this is fucking boring. Don't be so hysterical.
I regret nothing.
But if you play it for long enough, it will work. It will win. But obviously, this doesn't count. But this works well as a base, which we can make much more efficient. Essentially, the trick is to make shortcuts, which cut off large sections of the Hamiltonian cycle. Alright, so to explain this, look at this small example. I've labeled each block to show you the order of the cycle. If we're doing our boring, lame-ass strategy, the Snake would just follow the order of the numbers. However, hold on to your hats because you're about to see a mad lad in action.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Make your dreams come true. Nothing is impossible.
Yeah, so you get it. This is kind of the main gist of the algorithm. It roughly follows the numbers and is able to take some shortcuts. This improvement is even further magnified on larger maps. Massive sections of the Hamiltonian cycle are cut off. This sounds all well and good, but it's not quite that simple. There are a few cases which will mess you up if you use the shortcuts too liberally. For example, I wouldn't recommend cutting off any areas which contain the part of the tail because then you'll get fucked. Also, you gotta be careful when the Snake grabs a feed and expands because there's potential that you'll get fucked. But honestly, I'm getting bored of explaining this shit, so let's run this bitch. So it starts off as a pretty standard game, but as the game goes on, the Snake starts to follow the Hamiltonian cycle more closely. This is gonna take fucking ages, so let's boost the shit out of the speed. Yeah! We did it! Okay, so to be honest, I'm not a super huge fan of this algorithm. It's great and mathematically pleasing. However, I think it's lost the chaotic beauty of an algorithm which might die at any time. Like, I enjoy watching this one heaps more because you know it's just freaking the fuck out. While this one is like cold and calculating. But one thing that I can say for this new algorithm is that it's incredibly fast. The other one has to pause and calculate, while this one can easily run at 50 times speed. And that's not the only way of utilizing its speed. Take a look at this. Woo! That's a fucking game of Snake. The movements of the snake look fairly normal and human, which is insane seeing that this is the Hamiltonian cycle. All right, this is gonna take a while. So let's crank this bitch up. All right, so this is 2 times speed. All right, very nice. Let's make it 10 times faster. All right, 50 times faster, 100 times faster, 1,000 times faster. Yep, okay, that's, I don't know what I expected it to look like, but this really doesn't look anything like a game of Snake anymore. But you're gonna have to take my word for it. Actually, let's slow it down so we can actually see what's happening. Yep, it's snaking. It's snaking, all right. Okay, speed it back up, I guess. There you go, game of Snake, technically. Okay, I'll slow it down for the end of it. Let's see. All right, come on. Jesus, fuck, this takes ages. All right, keep it up. Come on, you got this. You got this, go. Okay, fuck this. Boost. Stop. All right, boost. Stop. Jesus, fuck. Boost. Stop. All right, boost. Stop. Boost. Oh, wait, what? No, no. Oh. This took me like 3 hours to do. It was sped up for you guys, but it took me like 3 hours and we got all of it except for 2 fucking blocks. That's it, I'm done. Never touching this piece of shit game again. Fuck this, fuck you, I'm out, bye. So I'm just about finished with uni, and while it's been fun, it also really hasn't. One of my main issues is they just slap you in the face with a textbook and be like, that's all for today, I'm going to the pub. Also, that textbook would be $400. Sorry, I might have gotten a little bit sidetracked. My point is that they just give you text to read, and that's not how people learn, especially if you're illiterate like me. Which is why I appreciate what the people at Brilliant.org are doing with their courses. If you haven't heard of Brilliant.org, it's a problem-solving website and app with a hands-on approach with over 60 interactive courses on math, science, and computer science. And I know that's just a bunch of buzzwords that you probably hear all the time, but when I say hands-on and interactive, this is what I mean. This is a question taken out of the Mathematical Fundamentals course, which sounds as far from hands-on as you could possibly get, but they made it work, so props for that. In this question, you ask whether or not it's possible to move the number tiles so that every row and column adds up to the target sum beside it. They could have just made a picture of the problem and called it a day, but that's not how Brilliant.org does things. Instead, they created a fun, interactive minigame, which makes the problem less like homework and more like a puzzle game. Brilliant.org courses are filled with these interactive elements, which make it more engaging and the information more digestible. If you want access to all the interactive courses, and if you like what I do here and want to support me, head over to brilliant.org/codebullet to get 20% off their premium membership. Hey, yeah, so I'm back, if you didn't figure that out from the previous 20 minutes of content. Yeah, I'm back. This project took fucking ages. Oh my god. I'm so sick of Snake. But my pride was just like, Evan, fucking finish this shit-ass game. It's like one of the easiest games to make ever. Surely you can beat it. Yeah, so that probably took way too long. And uni was a thing, which was a thing. So fuck that. But I am done now. I am completely done with uni. Like 100% graduate, assuming I pass, actually. So maybe I'm celebrating a little early. But let's hope for the best here, guys. For the sake of the channel, let's pray to God that I pass these fucking courses. Yeah, so I'm done. I'm actually going on holidays in a sec though, so it won't be much different for you. But yeah, I'll be back and in action and ready to fucking go. Start of the next year, start of the new year, however you say that. 2020. New year, new me. I'm going to be a free man, going to be doing Code Bullet full time. I don't know what I have planned. I don't have anything planned. If I had something planned, I would know. What am I fucking talking about here? So yeah, sorry. Long story short, look out for new content in the new year. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. I'm not going to get a job or anything, which frankly means my degree was useless, which is great. That's a wonderful thought. But whatever, that's behind me. That's done. Let's just fucking do this. All right, bye again.